Good morning, class. Welcome to another circle time. This is the last one for our culinary week, and I hope you've had a great week so far. I hope you enjoyed our Zoom call yesterday. It's always so nice to see you guys because I miss you so much, and I miss just being able to hug you and squeeze you. And so being able to connect online like this makes me feel so happy inside, and I hope it makes you happy too. So we're going to do calendar. I'm going to read a fun story. We'll sing Way Up High in the Apple Tree again. And then that'll be it. We'll say our goodbyes for this week. And we'll look forward to next week, right? So let's get started with our Days of the Week song. And we'll figure out what day it is. Days of the Week. Days of the Week. There's Sunday and there's Monday. There's Tuesday and there's Wednesday. There's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday, days of the week. We have stay at home Saturday, stay at home Sunday. Monday's always our first school day, so there's Monday, Tuesday, yesterday was Wednesday, and today is Thursday, the 6th day, right? Thursday. Thursday, our months. Our month is still April with an A. Thursday, April. Let's see what number it is today. What number is that? Can you see it? 9. This one always tricks us because sometimes we call it a 6. And when it's a 6, it has the line on top, right? The circle on the bottom. But it is a 9 today. Circle on the top, line on the bottom. 9, April 9, 2020. So, the book I have for today, since it's culinary week, it's of course about food. It's called On Top of Spaghetti. And this book was both written and illustrated. So, the pictures were also drawn by the same person who wrote all the words, Paul Brett Johnson. And this book is super fun. I have not read it to you. This is a new book for you guys, unless you have it at home, but we'll see. Howdy, folks. Welcome to Yodeler Jones Spaghetti Emporium and Musical. You're just in time to hear about the big sneeze. It all started when they put that fried fritter for Crosse parlor next door. I couldn't haul in a customer with a line and a pole. Yodeler, I said to myself, it's time to upgrade the menu. So this brand new restaurant that serves fried chicken just opened up next door to this place. And no customers are coming his way. He needs to think of something quick. So I set out to invent the most delicious meatball this side of Sicily. And I likely did, but the blasted thing didn't stick around long enough for a taste test. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody, you know the words, sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. And then my poor meatball went out of the door. Look who sneezed. It was a teeny tiny little mouse. I feel like in lots of stories we read, it's always a mouse or some sort of small creature that creates a lot of ruckus. For all I knew, my entire future depended on that runaway meatball, and I had to have a bite. There it goes. That's quite a sneeze for it to roll like that, huh? Kind of reminds me of when we're sitting for lunch and we have edamame beans, and you guys sometimes try to get them out of the pod, and they go, and they splurt everywhere. You claim it's on accident. Sometimes it is. I was hot on the trail when it flew into the Piggly Wiggly and hit dear Miss Jenkins smack dab in the squash. Pardon my meatball, I said, and then I told my tale. It hit her in the squash. That means it hit her in the butt. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. Poor Miss Jenkins. That wasn't the end of it, though. Not by a monkey's tail. My meatball went a whooshin' and a whizzin', and this time it landed in front of the sheriff's office. Pardon my meatball, I said. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. Next thing I knew, my meatball zigged all the way to the ballpark. And by the time I caught up, some tadwhacker was just about to chomp down. Pardon my meatball, I said. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody... Look at him. Look at this piggy. The meatball landed on top of his hot dog, and he's almost ready to eat it. And the chef, the cook, the person who made it, hasn't even had a taste test yet. Oh no. He lost his poor meatball when somebody squeezed. So right when he went to tackle him for his meatball, the pig squeezed the meatball out of his hot dog bun. There it goes. That meatball shot to the outfield, boomeranged, whizzed by the shortstop, flew over the pitcher's mound, and headed directly for home plate. Bad Bubba Jr. was up to bat. Look at Bad Bubba Jr., the alligator, up to bat. He whacked that meatball, didn't he? That's a strong meatball, if you ask me. Talk about your home run. My meatball zoomed through the wild blue yonder. And where do you reckon it landed? So they're all watching that meatball. Where do you think it landed? On someone's head? Maybe someone caught it. Maybe it landed on someone's foot, on their big toe. Let's find out. It rolled in the garden and under a bush, and then my poor meatball was nothing but mush. Yodeler, I said, you might as well put up a for sale sign. Then lo and behold, a miracle happened. So this meatball he baked, remember, to put on his menu as something new and exciting to get some customers in. And now it's nothing but mush under the bush. Oh, poor Yodeler. Let's see what this miracle is. I hope it'll help him. The mush was as tasty could be. And by the next day, it grew into a tree. That tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew great big meatballs and tomato sauce. Oh yeah, look at that. Yummy, yum, yum, yum. If you came across a tree that grew meatballs and tomato sauce, would you eat it? I would. I love meatballs. Know what? Those were the most delicious meatballs this side of Sicily. And nowadays, plenty of folks stop in for a bellyful. And I always tell them, though, if you eat spaghetti all covered with cheese, hold on to your meatball and don't ever, you guessed it, sneeze. Oh, here we go again. This time, who sneezed? Who was it? The elephant. Oh, you know why? She's got pepper too. The pepper made her sneeze. Oh no. The end. See, you guys all know that song, huh? That's a good one. It's one of my favorites. I like it. So To end Thursday, I want to say that I hope you guys all have a great day. I hope that you have been in the kitchen all week. Take a tour of your kitchen with mom and dad. Talk about what's safe, what's not safe. Hopefully you've been doing that this week. I hope you also saw the egg experiment and give it a try this weekend if you guys use eggs for cooking. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll be back to you again on Tuesday next week for STEAM Week. STEAM Week is all about engineering and all about building things and combining science and math and art and technology to create something. And so I'm going to be inviting you guys to create buildings using different materials and challenge yourself a little bit. And part of next week is also about how things don't always go the way we want. Like sometimes we build a really cool tower and it falls down and we get mad and sad. But guess what? We can rebuild it and try it again and make it even better. Even grown-ups have to go through things like that to get better. Miss Kelly makes mistakes all the time. Like take Culinary Week, for example. I tried a couple new recipes this week and I didn't get it right the first time, every time. Sometimes it tasted a little funny, or sometimes I didn't cook it quite right and I had to retry it again, and that's okay. Mistakes make us better, right? Mistakes are hard sometimes. Mistakes make us feel like, but if we have the courage and the strength and determination to try again, that's what makes it all worth it, right? And that's how we end up doing what we wanted to do in the first place, right? Sometimes we have to fail to get better at something, and that's okay. Just like a sport, right? I used to play soccer when I was little. When I first started, I wasn't very good. But as I played and I kept trying and I kept practicing, guess what? I got really good at dribbling the ball. I got really good at juggling the ball. I got really good at getting the ball from other people. But it took a lot of practice and I had to lose a lot of games to get there. So I'm inviting you to remember it's okay if your cool tower falls down. It's okay if that picture you were trying to draw, you mess up on it and have to redo it. It's okay. It's all part of our life, right? And that's we all have to deal with it. So mess up. It's okay. So those are my words of wisdom for this Thursday. I hope you have a great weekend. I miss you. Giving you a hug, virtual hug. Oh! And I will see you next week. Bye.